I'm back. You guys, this is part 2. Do you know that I skipped over a whole marriage? How did I do that? Okay, rewind, okay? This is so funny because these videos are so raw. As I was blowing my nose to come back to part 2, I said, wait a minute, how did I forget about my entire marriage? So you guys, after the gang thing, after the gang guy I dated, oh God, let me think about this for a second. Okay, so I was actually living with my mother after I broke up with this person. Well, now you know that I've kind of been back and forth to my mom's house, but you guys, it literally would last that long because we don't get along. So after that guy, I forgot to tell you this. So the poor guy, Harlan, that I was just crying about, comes after a marriage that I chose. Okay? So I go to work and I'm working. I stay with my mom after my breakup, and I'm gonna build my life. So I'm gonna try to get some money so I can, maybe eventually get a roommate. I just was afraid to live alone because, the situation, I didn't wanna live alone. And roommate situations are not fun. I've had that situation, which you already know about. Oh my God, Kona, you are such a loud snorer. She snores so loud. She's an old dog. Okay, so anyway, I ended up going to a gym. The boss I worked for at that time said, hey, Netta, I bought you a 1-year membership. So I joined a gym. And I really needed to because I was never someone who worked out, but I was always athletic. I swam, I did things, I danced. So long story short, I joined a gym. The first day I joined this gym, I meet a guy. He was actually really cute. And then I ended up knowing this guy. He was actually a pretty popular guy in the Iranian industry. And you're probably wondering, why did she marry another Iranian? That's all I knew. Now, I haven't dated Harlan yet. Sorry, I'm so sorry that I'm sorry, I skipped over this whole thing. I don't know why I did that. Probably because it was a lot, that was the worst marriage I've ever had. The first marriage wasn't a marriage. It was like roommates. We broke up, boom, boom. This was like a real marriage. Well, here comes a broken girl getting married to a guy because he reminded me of my favorite actor and because he was popular. So yeah, I'm gonna just admit that to you. I chose him because he was hard to get. He was popular. A lot of girls liked him. And I think I even knew a couple girls that dated him. So his name was like in my ears. I always used to hear about him. And then he likes me now and I'm like, woo. But he treated me like crap. Let me give you some stories, okay? So here's this man and I'm gonna get married to him. And this is my choice. I met him by myself. So when I tell my mom, she's happy. He's Persian. So this guy treated me like garbage. I don't even know what I saw in him. Yeah, he was kind to me. We did fun things. But 99.9999% of the time, the very first thing he said to me was, oh, you're not really my... No, not... He didn't say that to me like this. He said, oh, my friends are in shock that I'm with you. Because, you guys, I wasn't like... I didn't have the best body at that time. I was really unhealthy. And I just didn't... I don't know. I guess I wasn't that good looking. He made me feel like I wasn't. And I was just so excited that he even wanted to date me. He made my self-worth... As a matter of fact, I was walking in the mall and the owner of BB back then, owner or whoever they were, like the company BB, they liked me. And I actually I was part of a modeling agency, so I was always in, like, he always thought I was ugly, but I would get modeling work all the time. I got print work, ads, hair, makeup, runway. I did so much runway. I had so much attitude. I had good movement. So I did a lot of work, but he always made my self-worth down. So I remember the very first modeling job I got, I came home with the 2 dresses. They were BB dresses. I still have them. They were size 2. I put them on, no, size 4. I put them on and I showed him and I said, look, I'm gonna be wearing these, and these dresses are gonna be me, pictures of me plastered all over BB's windows. And I said, do you think I look fat in this? And this is what he said, you guys. He said, honey, you don't look fat in it. You are fat. And he's like, you're not that skinny. I know girls that are I know girls that are way skinnier than you. And so guess what happened to Netta? Netta decides that she's gonna starve herself now. Why, you idiot? Like, I say that to myself now because of some guy who was so insecure about himself that he wanted to make me feel terrible. As a matter of fact, I worked and I think I made about a couple $1,000s a month, which was pretty good money back then. And for me it was. I mean, I was just this girl that, you know, after my high school diploma, I was done. And I really wanted to go to college. So as I was working, you guys, I was going to college. I was married to him. That was my way out of my house. I married him. And I went to work 6 in the morning until 2 p.m. I went to college at my lunchtime, and I went to college at night. And I went to the gym. So I was like all day working. And this guy, I don't know, he just never, like, even the answering machine in our home was like, hello, this is so-and-so, not this is our home. So I went from a broken childhood to my choice of marriage. Why am I why was I that person? Why did I marry that person? So for 3 years, I was married to someone who cheated on me basically all the time. He denies it, he always did. He made me feel my self-worth was that much. Then his mother would come and make my life miserable. As a matter of fact, I get married to this guy. 6 months later, his mom comes, and I'm at work, and I come home after work. I walk into her sitting with his ex-girlfriend having lunch. So she wanted to destroy my marriage with him because she wanted him to get married to an older, nicer Persian girl. And to her, I was like a child, which I was. He was older than me, but not that much. Like 11 years or something like that. I like older guys, obviously, but not like when I was 16. I think, you know, women like me tend to go with older men, the ones that need father figures. People are not going to admit that. I will. I definitely have always been attracted to older. Never, ever have I liked younger boys or guys. I'm just not into them. So anyway, so in this marriage with this man, there was no physical abuse, but there was a lot of verbal abuse, and him constantly making me feel, you know, 0, 0, 0. And my mom never did anything about it. So basically, during the time I was married to this guy, he didn't really have anything to do with the Persian partying and that kind of part. So the good news was, at least I got out of that part, but now I'm dealing with my self-worth just sucky. So what happens to me is I find myself at the gym a lot at the gym. A lot of shopping. I did a lot of shopping therapy. So like, I was a terrible wife. I'd go home and like try to make hamburger help or whatever I was. I'd just make food and then I would leave. Because basically I already knew this guy was a cheater. I knew that I wasn't gonna be with him for long. And I knew that he was also stealing my paychecks. So one day he was like, oh, let's just share a bank account, like an idiot. I said, sure. So I realized, Netta, you're doing it again. So when I was working and I was going to college, I don't know if he's still at this college. I went to CSUN, and it was Mr. Baum. No. What was his name? Shit. He ran the business. What was his name? Braun. Mr. Braun. Braun, I think. He ran the business. And so he was one of those professors that came up to me in school when I was in college, working in the middle of lunch, had to drive there, come back. He came up to me and he goes, God, there's something about you. And I said, what? And he said, you are a good salesperson. I don't know, there's something about you. Angus, stop. Angus, stop. Angus, come here. Angus, oh my God. Come. So, Mr. Braun, Braun, he said to me, Netta, I want you to start focusing on you. Netta, you have worth. Angus, what's wrong? Stop. So he actually was a professor, but an angel in my life. He said to me, Netta, you have worth. You are going to be really good in marketing. Pursue this. So I actually got my degree. So he was like, stick to this school and work your butt off. And he was such a great guy, another good male role model in my life. Finally, someone that was trying to tell me that I was worth it, I could do it. So that gave me the strength to finally, Angus, come on, stop. So that finally gave me the strength to finally get on my 2 feet. And I left him myself. I did. His mom came and they thought they could mess with me. And I felt like I was being, they were talking about me all the time, him and the mom. It was not a good place. So when his mom was here, I called my mom and I just, overnight, you guys, packed up and left. And my mom supported me after that. So that was good. So I went to live with my mom. And that's the time that I met Harlan. I met Harlan about 6 months after I left my husband at that time. And so when I left him and stayed with my mom, met Harlan, and that's when I got those 2.5 years of finally being able to have some life, meeting new friends at the gym. My gym became my life and a place I can go to and I finally found my worth. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I found a place I fit in, and Harlan and I had such a great time. We went clubbing all the time. I mean, I never slept for 3 years. I remember partying all night, not bad partying, like dancing, things fun, just fun partying and just living my life. Like, remember, guys, I didn't have my teenage life. So I feel like Harlan was an angel that came into my life to give me things. And then during Harlan time, I told you guys I had to break up with him. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. He was so in love with me, and I knew there was time. And then I met another person that I dated for a while, and he was not a person that lived here. He lived out of state. So I had a long distance relationship. And I think I could tell you this. This is when the shift starts to happen for me, where becoming a better person. Now, do I want to share all the things and stories? Do you want to hear more stories about when I was married, underage marriage, when I was with the gangster? Do you want to hear more stories? If you do, tell me and I'll share stories. But I'm trying to get past those things. And also, when this becomes a series, I don't want to give away too much. I'm trying to give you a substance so that when this becomes a series, it'll be fun for you to watch. Because I do want the story to kind of have some fun too in it. Because how can you just always be sad about your past? You gotta laugh. At some point, you just gotta be like, whatever. It's now going to be entertaining for people to watch. Even myself, I guess, at this point. So tell me more if you want to hear about more stories and things that I might have done bad with people. If you want to hear some crazy stories, I can tell you. Or if you want to wait for that. So just know that when I was in that marriage and I left and I'm with Harlan now, that now I'm basically breaking up with Harlan and now I'm my own person. And the struggles of being a person after you haven't really had any upbringing, you're just thrown into life and you have to figure it out. And that's what I did. And during the process of figuring it out, I made so many mistakes. I chose all the wrong friendships. I continued to care what people thought. I think I even was an abusive person myself. I was very physical. I was that person that would just punch you in your face if you said the wrong thing to me. Angus, not you. The struggles of, I never really did drugs. I think I told you guys that. I only drank to get drunk. I wasn't interested in any of that. I saw what it did to people. The gym was a place that I used, the gym was a place I used that, can you close the window? The gym is the place that I used to get out all my vengeance in cardio and realize, whoa, you guys, this is my place. So from a very dark childhood, teenagehood, adolescent, in my early 20s, so now we're getting married to this person and now I'm 26, 27, abusive relationships. I mean, I've had it all. So I just decided I would be single for a while and work. And you guys, some things just never change. My relationship with my mom is just not good. You saw the interview I did with her that day. That was good. We're back to not really being good right now. It's like this. It's like a roller coaster. So, what? Oh, I'm going to call my mom. So I thought, I'm going to show you guys something right now. What I want to show you is, we're still kind of staying with the past, but I want you to understand, you guys that are watching right now, that are trying to figure out wow, Netta, your life is my life. How many people really knew the abuse you went through? No one knew I was being abused in the relationship I was with the man. Physically abused. As a matter of fact, I have a scar on my lip here. Was another time that I got in a fight with him and he swung my head against the wall so hard my lip busted open. If any of you ever cut your lip, it's more blood than a murder scene. And I was rushed to the hospital, and when I was in the hospital, I just remember him telling me, watch what you say. Again, when I was in the hospital, the nurse was in my face and said, I know you didn't bump your head at the pool. Like they knew because of other, marks on me. And once again, I didn't tell. I didn't do it. And you guys, please don't hold it in, please. I beg you, if you're watching this and someone is hurting you and you told someone and they didn't believe you, please don't give up. Because if I would have known back then that I could have told the nurse and they would have protected me, I would have said something. But you're in an abused relationship, so you don't want to say anything. You don't want to get your family members killed. You just don't want to say anything. So please remember that these days, they'll take you out. I work for an agency for 10 years. We'll come and get you. Your abuser will never know. We'll give you money, clothes, take care of your children. We'll get you back on your feet. So just know there's a way out. So basically, my mom has not changed. So I'm mad at her right now for what? So let me just give you an example. So we're in quarantine, right? She's high risk. She was at a party last weekend. Her own grandkids go there with masks. We go there with masks. She's a high risk. She's almost died twice. Even if COVID is a hoax to you, I'm still gonna protect my mom because we know it's not a hoax. We know that people get it, so I'm not gonna risk her. She's at a party. And we're dealing with another thing right now. What are we dealing with? Mamani is getting divorced, right? With another man. We'll see. So I'm just gonna call her and you're gonna just kind of listen to my dynamics with her, okay? I'm gonna ask her, why did you go to a party during COVID?
Mama.
Hi, Mom.
Who be the friend?
Hi, Mom. Mom,
Mama.
I'm sitting with the kids, and I just want to ask you, why do you think it's bad if I'm your daughter and I love you and I get mad that you went to a party during COVID and you call me your mom why is that bad if I care for you?
Neda, I know what you mean, but sometimes you're doing exaggerate for whatever you're doing.
Did you go to a party?
Of course it's not bad. You care about me, I know that.
Wait. You just said I exaggerate. What did I exaggerate?
Because when I'm there, why you change my mood? I am having a good time. When you call me like that, then I'd be so out of my mind and I don't enjoy it.
Because I wanted you to leave, Mom.
As I told you, it's a little party. We came home we went 7, we come home 10:30.
Mom, there was over 10 people there, Mom, at the party.
No. I have a picture, I'll show you how many people there were.
Mom, you are high risk, and we don't even kiss you.
Listen, baby, that was only problem you have with me? That's the only problem?
No. And you went to the party with your husband that you're divorcing.
Neda, I have to explain it to you when I'm alone with you.
Okay. Did you hear her? You exaggerate. Okay, what do I exaggerate, Mom? Oh, you call during the worst time and you ruined my party. But what is that? How is that exaggerating? So why did I call her right now? To make her look bad? No. I called her because I'm 48. She's 76, 7, 8, I don't know. She was born 1946. She's never changed. You guys, she's just never changed. And I just want you to know that if you don't change your mindset, if you don't bring on changes, if you don't break this chain, it's never going to end. My mom still goes to parties. Her life is based on parties. Why doesn't she want to be a grandma? If I say to her, be a grandma, she says, why do you think I'm some old lady? You are an old lady. Well, she is. She has a lot of medical conditions. She looks great. She's a beautiful woman. But I just want you guys to understand that I'm still that little girl that is waiting for that day that I will be her priority. And it's just not there yet. So I just want you guys to understand that my family dynamics right now is me working really hard on being with her, loving her. She's supposedly getting divorced after 16 years. She's been married to this man that's never been a husband to her. He takes care of her, food-wise, clean-wise, you know, things like that, like does things around the house and things like that. But how sad, you guys, that my mother has never had a man that's loved her. Oh, she had one. George, if you ever see this, please come back. Please come back. We'll pay you. My mom had one man in her whole life before this guy she got married to, and he was the kindest human being. I actually remember being with my husband and dropping on our knees and saying to God, you sent someone that loves her? He wasn't Iranian. I think he was like a mix of Assyrian, Armenian, Russian, maybe? Armenian. Just a nice man, blue-collar worker. They went to restaurants together. They went dancing together. He was such a nice person, you guys. And I know what happened. Do you know what happened? Her bad friends found out that she was with a nice guy and he wasn't Persian. And they were like, we're going to ruin it for her. And they did. I don't know what they did to this guy, but this guy disappeared out of my mom's life. Didn't we go looking for him for a while?
We did. We went to his apartment downstairs.
We went to his apartment. We were looking for him. Something happened, you guys, and I think they threatened him.
Yeah.
They threatened him. They said, if you continue to date her, we'll kill you.
His sisters. They went to the sisters.
Oh my God, he remembers that.
And he had a lot of respect for the sisters.
Wow. Okay, so somehow my mom's bad friends found this guy's sister, went to the sister, and when the sister went to him, he respected his sister so much, he believed her. And that's what you should do, believe your family. And he left because they threatened to kill him. And sometimes, you guys, I wonder if that was my mom being punished in life. Is it because, she's still the same person? Is she ever going to change? But here's the good thing about my mom. She does have a really kind heart when it comes to people, not animals. Yeah, animals too. But just, she's like that person that wants to help you, give you things, but selfishly, not to her own people. I don't know why. Who knows? Okay, so that's pretty much, I think we're going to end it here, I guess. So you kind of got a little bit of a dynamics Is that a good time to end it? So you got a little more info about my life, some dates, my dating life, boyfriend life, husband lives, and the next time we come back, I actually want to hear from you. Before I move forward, what would you like to hear? Do you want to hear more stories about mafia life, being raised by a mob dad? Do you want to hear about my gang life? Did I tell you about that yet? I don't think I have told you everything about that. Maybe I'll come back and tell you a little bit more about like how I got into gangs and the things I went through with gang members, things I've learned about gang members, things that I've learned. You ask me, okay? And I'll do it. You don't have to write it publicly, but I am going to tell you this. Comments. When you comment under one of my videos, just understand that if you reprimand me, if you scold me, if you judge me, I'm just going to erase it. Because I'm not here to tell your story. I'm here to tell my story. And I make people uncomfortable. And I'm sorry if you feel uncomfortable. It's not about you. So from now on, I've decided if you write me a negative comment, no, you can write a comment about me if you feel anything that you need to say to me. But if you bring it up in a way where you're just trying to reprimand me or tell me what you think it was, or if you weren't there, don't bother. I'm just going to erase it. I'm done with those people in my life. Goodbye. I need real people, friendships that are real. I want to be here for you. I will do anything you need when it comes to advice. I am an intuitive healer, so I do work with the human body if you ever have any questions about that. I do talk to the other side, but I don't do it for a living, and I will never charge for that. So that's things that I do for kindness, love, giving back. If you need my friendship, if you want to talk to me, I will make time for you. Okay? So let's end with that. And I can't wait to hear what you want to hear from me. Bye, guys. Thank you.